Another day of trading, and here we are. And I do not have a funded account at the moment, so I'll be trading on my paper trading account, and I've already taken a trade, so I'll just explain what happened here. Let me just go to the charts. Yeah. Yesterday there was a crazy move in the market after Trump announced the talks with Iran. Market shot up really high, and then it came back down. So I've entered on a trade after price swept a liquidity zone right here. So this is one of our proper setups. This is something that I would love to see during my funded account challenges, but unfortunately I've not gotten a chance. I do not have the patience these days to wait for a clean setup. So here what you see is a clear swing high on the 15 minutes. If I go to the 15 minutes, yeah, this was the swing high. You can see the same swing high on MES as well. And then the price swept that particular area, and the sweep was pretty good. I wouldn't say it was top notch, but then it was a pretty clean sweep. Then when price swept the area, I entered. I kept the SL here. This is a paper trading account. Since I lost my funded account. I'll be taking a new funded account on the first of next month. So I've kept my SL here and the target here. Seems like a legit area for my setup. So let's see what's going to happen. But I think I'm quite proud of this trade. Even if it hits SL, I'm not worried because it's a clean setup, and I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah. And on MES, you can see the same swing high is taken. So we have confluence. Yeah. So let's wait and watch what happens. I wish I had the patience during the normal days as well to take these kind of trades. And the thing with these kind of trades are that even if you hit an SL on these kind of trades, you wouldn't feel bad. You'll be mentally all right because it's based on your setup. Yeah. Seems like price is moving high. There is momentum, might hit our SL, but either ways, it's fine for us. So it's based on your setup. Yeah. Seems like price is moving high. There is momentum, might hit our SL, but either ways, it's fine for us. Ta, ta, ta. Hmm. I think we can dive into some psychology while this is happening. Uh, I'm not sure what the result is gonna be, but let's dive into some bit of psychology while this is happening. So, yeah, what I would like to talk about today is NE. NE is nothing but extroverted intuition. So, it's a fascinating topic to discuss about. So, it's so beautiful. Yeah. Not in a good mood today. No, I not in a mood to talk much. Maybe it's because I see this trade and then I felt bad that I didn't take it in a funded account. Yeah. Okay. Rather than talking about one particular function, I think we can talk about particular type, ENFPs, who use extroverted intuition a lot. So I think it's gonna hit our SL now, but anyway, we'll continue with this discussion. Any or extroverted intuition, it's a function that is the top function for ENTPs and ENFPs. And I think today we can discuss about ENFPs because they are an interesting group of people. Yeah, let's take them. What is this? Yeah, it's a max. ENFPs. Now, the top function is actually extroverted intuition on number one position. In number two position, their function is actually uh, introverted feeling. So, oh, what is this? Yeah. So I'm gonna write all of their functions down. The second function is Fi, that is introverted feeling. Third function is Te, that is extroverted thinking. And their fourth function is Si, that is introverted sensing. Okay, let's go through this particular personality type. This is a very interesting type to talk about, ENFPs. You might have these people in your friends group. They are a vibrant lot. These guys are always energetic, always, roasting other people around them and then having fun. They are the literal energy of a friends group. They transmit a ton of energy to to whichever group they are in and to whoever they are in and wherever they are. They are, you can say, they are the life of parties and life of trips or vacations. So extroverted intuition is their top function. So what is an easy way to identify these kind of people? So extroverted intuition helps them to be absolutely killer. I mean, they're just too creative for this world. That's what I would say because extroverted intuition is one function that that's too good for creativity because it's of an exploratory nature. It's like Just give them a small idea, and then they will develop it into, they can branch it out to, it's like you put a seed and then a tree grows out of it and branches out to spread across a huge area, right? That is what extroverted intuition is. You give them a small idea and they can generate multiple possibilities and creative ideas from that small seed. That's how extroverted intuition works. It's like if you tell them, uh, talk about what love is, and from then on, they will connect love to human relationships. They will connect it to veganism. They will connect it to owning a pet. They will connect it to platonic friendships. They will connect it to everything there is, and they will do it in a jiffy. Like they don't need time for to prepare for this shit because they are really good at it. They are exceptionally good at uh, taking one idea and branching it out and simulating multiple possibilities in their mind. These guys, they will find it difficult to sit in a movie theater and not predict the suspense or not predict what's coming because their brain keeps giving them multiple possibilities into their mind. So they will see multiple trajectories in how a movie climax will unfold or a book, the story of a book will unfold. So usually when these people, when they read a book and it surprises them, or if it was something that they couldn't predict, they're always blown away by those kind of books because it's, first of all, it's pretty hard to surprise these guys with an unpredictable ending because they just predict things really well and they can see all these possibilities on how a book can end or a movie can end. And extroverted intuition helps them to be really good at speech, or let's say oratory skills are pretty good for them. They're really good orators. They're really good writers. They can write really well because of their creative skills of extroverted intuition. They are really good at winging things in the end. They can uh, wait till deadline and on the eve or the deadline, uh, the night of the deadline, the overnight, they can just pull it off through pure creativity. They can look at multiple things and come up with a solution on the spot. These guys are really good at thinking on their feet. You cannot trap them. These guys can think of a solution at the moment. Yeah. So these are the kind of people who ENFPs are. The second function is FI, introverted feeling. So this is what distinguishes ENFPs from ENTPs. ENTPs also have the same function of extroverted intuition, but the second function is what differentiate these two. For ENTPs, the second function is introverted thinking. For ENFPs, whom we are discussing here, their second function is introverted feeling. Just based on, see, you can actually categorize 16 personalities based on their top two functions. So if you get the first two functions, you know which type it is. Extroverted intuition and introverted feeling is a combination for ENFPs and ENFPs alone. There is no other type who will have this combination of first NE and then second function being FI. What is introverted feeling? Now, introverted feeling is a function which helps you to resonate with your own values, your moral system, your the way you feel basically. So they tend to give priority or at least second priority to their own internal feeling or internal value code or let's say internal morals. So if something is in violation with their introverted feeling, that is their inner feeling of what is right or what is the correct thing to do, they find it very difficult to go against that. So their FI is one of the uh, most uh, big, it's one of the biggest driving factors for their NE to branch out. So FI is what determines in what way should NE unfold. When any can branch out to any way, FI is usually behind that curtain. that actually lets any explore. If FI finds an interest, let's say writing a book, or let's say directing a movie, it could be an FI driven interest. It could be an introverted feeling that an ENFP has. So it could be that their passions would come out of this FI. And then NE helps them to think about a lot of ways in which it can unfold. So uh, any is their creativity playground, and it helps to see what all ways in which they could finalize their movie or be a film producer or a director. So any actually complements FI, and FI complements any this way. All right. So that's when you understand most of their decisions would be based on it would be a combination of, see, nobody on the face of the earth is fully logical or fully emotional. But since they have introverted feeling as their second function, uh, their decisions would mostly be based on their feelings than the logic of it. So they can make decisions based on what they are feeling in the moment, not necessarily that it should be completely logical. Okay, that's not a guarantee because FI is their second function. So they give more priority to what they're feeling rather than if it's true or if it's correct, if it's the correct thing to do. I don't know. It's their internal values and internal morals and internal feeling that is given priority than over external truth. Yeah. So that is how an ENFP's core tendencies are, let's say, picturized or demonstrated in their personality. The third function is TE. Now, TE is a pure logical function. So this function, mm, yeah. So this function uh, is a simple way to explain this function is objectively verifiable logic. So it's nothing but uh, uh, the facts or the data that's actually verifying something is a T evidence. Okay, let's say there is another aspect or the other side of extroverted thinking is introverted thinking, which a lot of other types have as their top function. And what introverted thinking does is it checks if if what they see or what they sense or what they receive, the data that they receive, does it make sense or not? It's like an internal check. But what TE or extroverted thinking does is it checks it with externally verifiable data. So it's a logic function. So thinking is the opposite of feeling. It's kind of the opposite of feeling. When the feeling part is an emotional function, thinking is a logical function. Now, when it's extroverted, it means you're looking onto the outside world for verification. So TE is a function which actually looks for evidence in the outside or the external world for uh, proof. So TE is a logic function which checks for proof in the external world. So you can say it's one of the best tools for uh, logic or truth because it checks for truth in the external world. It checks for uh, studies, facts, or mathematical proofs or empirical evidences. So T works like that. So to complement their introverted feeling function, they have this really good logical function on their third slot. That's why they are not, if you have any on the top which can branch out to multiple ways and it's driven by an FI below, which is a feeling function, you can think of all the chaotic ways their life can lead up to. Because something that's too creative and can too exploratory and which is driven by a feeling function can be too chaotic for a human being, but it's actually that T that controls them. They will look at the external world and see what's actually true, what's a objectively reliable data, and that helps them steer their life and be in control of themselves. Yeah, but the thing here is TE is in their third slot. Whatever is in their third slot is actually called a child function. because it would not be as developed as the top two function. In fact, their first function, any extroverted intuition, will be their top function. It would be the most developed function for them. They would be using that function most of the time throughout their life. While their second function, introverted feeling, is second only to any, but much stronger than TE and SI. And as given in the list, TE is a third strongest function, which means it's pretty weaker compared to the other two. So they would be using their emotional function, that is FI, more than their logical function comparatively. So that is the reason why they're comparatively more emotional rather than being logical. Yeah. So trade seems to be working, by the way. Yeah. Let's go to the fourth function, that is introverted sensing. Now, what is introverted sensing? This is one of those functions that is very difficult to understand because see, certain functions cannot be explained. It can only be felt, right? Yeah. Technically you can explain anything, but introverted sensing dominance and whoever has introverted sensing on the second slot can easily understand it, but they find it difficult to explain it. It's one of those functions, introverted sensing. But I'll explain to you. Uh, so, what happens is when extroverted sensing is the function where you acquire data through your senses, that is your vision. That I'm talking about extroverted sensing now, not introverted sensing. Extroverted sensing is a function where you acquire data through your senses. That's your vision, smell, touch, all these senses. For example, when you're eating a burger, you're using extroverted sensing to take in the taste of that burger using smell, vision, and through your tongue. But so what happens in extroverted sensing is you are in the present moment. You take the data in from the reality in front of you, which is concrete. But SI, on the other hand, is actually referencing to the same data set of the senses, but from the past, from the history, your experiences, the life you've lived, your memories, all those help you to get insights and live your life forward. So, introverted sensing works like that. You look back into your past and derive insights from your history. What happened when I was in a previous situation in my childhood, or 2 years back, I was in a similar situation like this, and what happened? What did I do, and what was the end result? So, if it was good, if everything was peace back then, I think I will comfortably just repeat what I did 2 years back because it worked. So SI actually helps you to stick to what actually worked in the past. You recall or reference from memory, reference from the past, and just continue to do it. So for an SI type, people who are dominant in SI, they will have a lot of habits and they find it easier to stick on to habits because they always prioritize what happened in the past and was was what happened in the past peaceful and good, and then if it is, let's not experiment, let's continue. SI driven people usually try to have the same kind of food, same kind of clothing, same kind of morning routine. They're really good at keeping habits, but when it comes to ENFPs, they have SI at the fourth slot. So it's like one of their weakest functions. So they're pretty weak at maintaining habits. First of all, they have NE on top, which is very exploratory, which takes them to off to tangents. And it's based on FI, which is their feeling. And the T is pretty weak. So when they have this SA, which is their habit forming function at the last, it's their weakest function. So they find it very difficult to stick on to habits and maintain and develop habits in the first place. Yeah. Now, if you see somebody like an ENFP, I think this would actually, looking at these four functions would actually help you to identify them pretty fairly. You can look for their creativity, which is their top function, any. Are they really good with wordplay? Are they really good at writing? And when they talk, do they connect multiple ideas? Can they pivot from one topic to another extremely fast? This is a sign of extroverted intuition. And you can look for introverted feeling when they talk about things that matter to them. Are they driven by emotions? Do they get emotional when they talk about what's important to them? Is it coming too deep within them? Do they talk about their values and what they feel when they talk a lot? T T can be visibly harder to notice in these types because it's in that third slot, but still you can actually see T in their T in their stack. Occasionally they'll be extremely disciplined and try to enforce their T, but it won't sustain. They will do it for a time, but then they'll break back into their NEFI loop again because it's their dominant function. As they mature, as they age to adulthood, they would become much better in TE and SI. And for ENFPs, developing their TE and SI would actually be a really good way to improve their personality and improve their life in general. Yep. And their fourth function, introverted sensing, will actually help them later in life when they develop it to form really good habits. But at the moment, it would be weak. So you wouldn't find them having a lot of consistent habits. So that way, when you look at these functions, you will be able to identify an ENFP friend of yours in your friends group. That way, you can understand how they process things. Why are they different from your type? No, these are the things that can help you to actually understand and accept another person as they are. Because finally, you can understand, okay, their brain is wired in a different way. Their wiring is different. Their cognitive tendencies and preferences are different. So absolutely, they will be different from you. Yeah, that's why I think understanding personalities is a great thing in the first place. Yeah, let's get back to our trade because it seems to be working. It's a really good candle, bearish candle that we see here. So I'm not going to remove my TP from here. I'm going to keep my TP here and I hope that it will work out. Let's wait and watch. Yeah. Like I told you, this is the kind of trade that I wish I took during my funded account. And even when it was moving up, you would have seen how I reacted. I was pretty confident that even if it hits my stop loss, I'm mentally going to be okay because it's one of my A plus setups. And as it has proved itself. Now even if I move it to break even, I would be okay with it. It has moved a fair bit, but that's the thing. Even though you see these A plus setups, it's all about the maintaining the patience to wait until you see them again and again to take them and not wasting or losing your money on setups far below your A plus level. And it's one of the most difficult things to do. This was on 20th March. Okay, right now, think this will only get updated once. Okay, here you can see the current position, 322 unrealized. I think we got 1 hour. So we have targeted slightly higher than 2 hours. Yeah. Let's see if we have got some. Okay. 4:30. Just gonna. Yeah, this was how I was supposed to be. I don't know why camera was flipped. difficult things to do. So that is the reason why they're comparatively more emotional rather than being, than being logical. Yeah. So a trade seems to be working, by the way. Yeah. Let's go to the fourth function, that is introverted sensing. Now, what is introverted sensing? This is one of those functions that is very difficult to understand because it's, see, certain functions cannot be explained. It can only be felt, right? I don't, I mean, technically you can explain anything, but introverted sensing dominance, and whoever has introverted sensing on the second slot can easily understand it, but they find it difficult to explain it. It's one of those functions, introverted sensing. I think we'll play a game of chess, uh, or we'll just stick onto the screen and play later. Let's see. 268 profit on the screen. Even if price wants to come down, I don't think it might be coming down that fast. It might take its own time. So, okay, I think it's two already. Trade seems to be working, and I think we might have a TP today, but who knows what's going to happen. We'll update you later during tomorrow's trading session. We'll have our balance history here, so we'll know what happened tomorrow. All right, I think then it's yeah, looks like price is again reversing, so it's going to hit TP is what I assume, but yeah, we don't know. All right, I'll end the stream. Uh, we'll be back again tomorrow.